All right, hello grade 10s. I have a first 5-minute question here for you. We're almost at the end of this unit. It's a really quick one, and I think it's a pretty easy one too. So it's a good opportunity for you to bump your mark up. So just make sure you're doing this stuff. All right, I would love for you to pause and try this. I'll do the question in two parts. The first is to explain how you know that they're similar and to write your similarity statement. So like ABC is similar to DEF. But actually, obviously, these won't be the same letters as A, B, C, and D, E, F because we don't have most of those letters. Okay, so please pause and try to figure out how you know that these are similar. Okay, so first, these two angles are the same. I'll make them dots because there's already an X somewhere else. These angles are similar by X pattern, something you might remember from grade 9. And to show that they're similar, we need to have another two angles that are the same. And you might remember Z pattern. So the Z pattern looks like this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And we know that there's a Z pattern there because of these little arrows here and here. That tells us that the lines are parallel. So that means that these two angles are the same by Z pattern. And that's about the only sort of thing I'll ask you to do with this. So if you know X pattern and Z pattern, you should do just fine. And now we can say triangle. Now we have to match up the angles. So angle A, I'll write the similarity thing here. Angle A goes with angle L. And then we're going to work down here. And then we've got K in both, obviously, because they both have a K, so the angles are the same. And then if these two angles are the same, the other pair has to be the same because they add up to 180. So it's going to be S in the little one, and it's going to be U in the big one. So AKS is similar to LKU. You may have had ASK is similar to LUK. Either way, there's lots of ways to say that they're similar. This is just the way that I did it. Okay, so that's part one of the question. Now that you have that part, I hope that you're able to do the second part, and that is to solve for side X. So please go ahead and try to do that. And pause and do it. Okay, so with the similarity statement, we know that A over L is equal to K over K. We'll call it K1 and K2. This will be 1. This will be 2. And that is equal to little s over little u. Now we plug in everything we know. So little a across from big A is 2.5 over little l, we don't know, equals K1, so little k is 5.3 over big K is 10.1, and there you go. We have a complete ratio, which means we can solve for something, hopefully. Little s is going to be 4.2, and little u is going to be our x. We're asked to solve for side x. We could solve for side L, but we weren't asked to. So side x. To solve for side x, we need the ratio with x, and we need our complete ratio. You'll find that all of these questions basically come down to the same thing. Now what we have to do is flip this so that x is on top. Again, I'm hoping that you paused and tried this. It's never too late. You can always pause now and finish it. And now we multiply by 4.2 on both sides. These cancel out, and we get x equals 10.1 times 4.2, and we divide by 5.3. And we get 8.003, so approximately 8.0 centimeters. And that's it. That is your opening question. This is going to be a really quick lesson today. There's not a lot of new stuff. I'm just kind of showing you other things that come along. So this is where we have multiple triangles in one problem. So this says here in the figure, DE is parallel to AC. AD, so AD is here, is equal to CE, which is here, is equal to 4. BD, so this little guy, is the same as this little guy. and is 1, and this big side along the bottom is AC. So the similarity statement, well, we know that angle B equals angle B. So let's draw the two triangles. We got the little guy, and we got the big guy. The little guy is B, D, and E, and the big guy is also B, A, C. And so we know that these two angles are the same because they're the same angle, right? They're both in the same triangle. And now what we can say by F pattern, so we've got these two parallel lines, and if we've got this line cutting through, this would tell us that this angle here is the same as this angle here. So we can say that this and this are the same, and therefore this and this are the same because they all add up to 180. And now we can write our similarity statement. So triangle BDE is similar, and now we can do this. So we go BD, so we go BA. We always have to work in the same direction. Okay, so BAC, BDE, so it's BAC. And now we're asked to find the length of DE. So what I'm going to do is on my little mini diagrams here, I'm going to put in all the numbers. So this is 1, this is 1, this is B, we don't know that. And then in the big guy, this is 4, and this is 8. Now some of you might be able to figure this out really quickly. So look at the relationship between this side and this side. 1 to 4, 1 to 4. So what do you multiply 1 by to get to 4? Well, you multiply it by 4. So this triangle is 4 times bigger than this one. So if this is 8, we have to find the number that's 4 times smaller than 8. So you could just do 8 divided by 4, and you would get 2. Or you could actually solve it. So B1 over B2, remember I always give a 1 and a 2 if the letters are the same, is equal to D over A is equal to E over C. And now I'm going to plug everything in. B1 we don't know, so B1 over B2 is here, that's 8, equals D over A, so D over A is 1 over 4, and the other one's also 1 over 4. We don't need both of these, obviously, so now to solve for side B, 1, we would do B1 over 8 is 1 over 4. We multiply by 8 on both sides, and we get B1 equals 1 times 8 divided by 4. 1 times 8 is 8, divided by 4 is 2, but we already sort of figured that out a little bit easier. So there you go. And sorry, they asked for side DE. That's this side, which is the same as little b. Okay, if angle B equals 120, find the measures of the other angles. Well, this is actually really easy. So if we look at this triangle here, let's do the big guy. Okay, so if that's, oh no, I made a mistake. How many of you caught my mistake? I made a big mistake. So let's go back here. Let's zoom in. I said that this was 4. It's not 4. It's not 4. It's 5. This is 4 and that's 1. So this is 5 and this is 5. Which means all these 4s here change to 5s. Which means this is wrong. Sorry about that, folks. I hope some of you caught my mistake. And if you didn't and you made the same mistake, it would be a very minor thing. So B1 over 8 equals 1 over 5. Multiply by 8 on top. B1 equals 8 divided by 5. 8 divided by 5 is 1.6. Again, sorry about that. I made a mistake, and again, the mistake I made is this. I assumed this whole side of the big guy was 4, but it's not, right? It's 4 and then another 1, so it's 5. I feel so silly. All right, back to this. Find the measures of the angles. So this is our big triangle. So 5, 5, and 8. This is 120. Check this out. What kind of triangle is this? Well, these two sides are the same, which means it's isosceles. So this is B, A, and C. So these two angles have to be the same. So to find them, 180 is what we start with. We take away 120 and we get 60. So both of these angles add up to 60 and they're the same. So we divide by 2, we cut it in half and we get 30 degrees. Just like that. We get 30 degrees. So that means that angle A equals C equals D equals E equals 30 degrees. So all of those other angles are 30 degrees because they're similar triangles and the angles in both are the same. All right, now the perimeter of each. So P1 is going to be 1 plus 1 plus B, which is 1.6. And so we get 3.6. P2 is going to be 5 plus 5 plus 8. 10, 18. Okay. So that seems fine to me. And let's check the ratio of those. 18 divided by 3.6 is 5. So the perimeter of this one is 5 times that one, which makes sense. The perimeter of the big guy is 5 times the little guy, and that makes sense because each side is 5 times bigger. Now to find the area of one, we first need to find the height. So this is 1, 1, and 1.6. So we need to find the height here, h. Remember, we've got Pythagorean theorem at our disposal. So this is 1. And this side now is going to be 0.8, right? We got to take half of this. So h squared equals 1 squared minus 0.8 squared. We subtract because we're finding a short side. So 1 squared minus 0.8 squared equals 0.36. And we take the square root of that, and we get 0.6. And finally, the area is the base, which is 1.6, times the height, divided by 2. So 1.6 times 0.6 divided by 2, we get 0.48. Okay, and then to find the area of the second one, we first need to find the height. Now check this out. If all the sides are 5 times bigger, then the height is going to be the little height times 5. So 0.6 times 5 is going to be 3, and the area is going to be the base, which is 8, times the height divided by 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. And that's A2. Now, we know that when we divided the perimeters, we got 5. So if we divide the areas, we should get 5 squared, which is 25. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at yesterday's lesson. So if I divide the areas, if I get 25, I know that I'm correct. 25. Done. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. I think I'm almost done. I might leave you with a couple practice questions. All right, so blah, 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 find the length of TU. Yep, I'm going to leave this one to you because this is exactly what I just did pretty much. I don't even ask you for the area, so even easier. And then I got this triangle here. So triangles ABC and EDC are similar. So triangle ABC is similar to triangle EDC. Find the lengths of AB and CD. So AB, we'll call that C1 because this is triangle 1. This is triangle 2. And CD, this will be little e. Okay, so we go like this. A over E equals B over D equals C1 over C2. You plug everything in. So A is 3.16. Little e we don't know. Little b is 1. Little d is 2. C1 we don't know. And C2, I go from C, which is here. So in triangle 2, it's 6. And then you just solve for these two here. And AB is what we're going to call C1, and CD is what we'll call little e. I will leave that for you to finish. I did a lot of the question for you already, and that's it. Okay, so you got 2 questions to do for practice, and then let me just check on our unit here and see how we're doing. I think we're almost done. Multi-triangle problem. Yeah, tomorrow is review. I'll give you a practice test. I'll post the solutions later in the week. And then Monday I'll give you the test, and that's the only thing you'll have next week. And then after that, we have trigonometry, and that's it. I might go back to a unit I skipped earlier if we have time. All right, folks, good luck. If you want a live help session, let me know, and I will schedule it. I'm currently doing my grade 9 help session Thursday at 11 a.m., so if you want a different time that day, let me know. All right, thanks, folks.